Yeah, that's right. COVID Cast 39 for April the 14th, 2020. April the 14th is a dark, dark day in history. The day Abraham Lincoln was shot, the day the Titanic went down, and the day we recorded this show. Let's get it started. Good afternoon and welcome to COVID Cast 39 for April 14th, 2020. You know what? I am going to go tinted glasses for this one because I am feeling pretty tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Anybody else experiencing that? You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, man, you're just so wired up that you can't get back to sleep, or else you can't get to sleep at all. I mean, Athletic Alliance has great products to help you sleep, including Sandman. And usually getting to sleep is no problem at all for me. But sometimes I will wake up in the middle of the night and then that's it, man. That's it. Once I wake up, I am not getting back to sleep. Sometimes it's like 2 a.m. Last night it was 2 a.m. So I was awake the complete rest of the night. So I am dragging a little bit tonight. But you know what? That's not going to slow us down. That is not going to slow us down. Today, as some of you may remember, was the toilet paper giveaway. And the winner was Jixer. So I delivered those to Jixer myself this morning. Jixer has been faithfully liking, sharing the shows, commenting, and he was in dire need of toilet paper. Maybe not this minute, but in need of toilet paper. He missed the hoarding bandwagon. So we hooked him up this morning. Enjoy, Jixer. Enjoy that 2-ply. What else do we have this morning? I am going to crack a monster, or this afternoon, sorry. Producer Ivan shouting out the corrections. It's afternoon. Oh, I know you guys don't like it when I drink the monster, but man, sometimes I gotta have it. Sometimes I gotta have it. All right, let's do some shout outs. Shout out to Floor Director Ivan. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Gymnasium. Jixer, of course. Lucky toilet paper guy. Terry Shrinkage. Sean Smith. Feisty Sean Smith had some words for me this morning. If you guys ever want to check out the Facebook page, it's under the Rick Richards Show, and you'll see a lot of the commentary under there is a little more, how should we say, divisive than it is on YouTube. And division is the subject of the show today. We're going to get to division and double standards and all these things. But anyway, shout out to him all the same, Sean Smith. Well, he said he's watching. Let's see if he really is. Shout out to Carol, Angie, producer Dave, and his furry buddy Odell, friend of the show Lisa, and everybody else that is out there enjoying. Our subscriber count is going up. Our fan page is going up. Our views are climbing steadily. We have a few videos now that are well over 1,000 views and climbing. So progress is being made. We are in our fifth week of a shutdown, a lockdown. 4 weeks now I've done the show, or I think 30 days. Yeah, about 30 days now. So, I mean, this time in lockdown is moving on, right? Let's see where we are in the world of the coronavirus. See what damage the COVID-19 is doing right now. No, that's not what I want. Nope, that's not what I want. Here we go. All right. So if we look at where we are in the world right now, we are at 1,991,000 cases. Let's refresh this. 799, 126,000 deaths. Remember that number. So far, we have had 126,000 people, fatalities. People have died from the COVID-19. Take a look by country. The USA, of course, over 600,000 now cases. They've tested over 3 million people, though. 2,284 new deaths last night. That number is, of course, very high. But to put it in perspective, it is decelerating. Italy, 600 last night, or in the last 24 hours. That is also decelerating. Spain, only 300. That is about a third of where they were at their peak. France, still fairly high. UK also still fairly high. But like I said, I called it about a week ago. We were going to see the peak during this week here. I think we are at the absolute peak in terms of infections, and I think some places have actually passed their peak now, quite a few of them, as a matter of fact. Sweden, still moving up. Sweden has been pretty wide open with everything they've done. They are an experimental nation. They haven't closed down their restaurants or theaters or any of those places. They have practiced some social distancing, though. So keep that in mind. 126,000 people worldwide have died. This is the world meter. This is up to date what is happening. So deaths so far this year, 16,856,718, 19, 20, 21, 22. So really every second somebody is dying. That's almost 17 million people have died this year, of all causes, of course. So I hope that puts things into perspective. Just today alone, there has been 106,000 deaths. All right. The population growth today is 146,000. So remember the number I gave you, the deaths to the COVID-19 are 126,000. The population just today has grown by 146,000. That, of course, is subtracting the births today and the deaths today, leaves us with 146,000. So there you go. That puts things into perspective slightly, that although the numbers do seem really large on a global scale, they are not that large. See where we are in Canada. Canada, we're looking at 27,000 total cases, 900 deaths. In British Columbia, closing in on 1,500 cases, 69 deaths. Quebec and Ontario, of course, are the hotspots. 334 people have died in Ontario now, 435 in Quebec. Both of these, Quebec was worried that there would be at, 8,000 by the end of the month. What did they say, Ivan?
Between 40, they said between 40 to 44,000
cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quebec was expecting 40 to 44,000 cases at the end of the month with social distancing in place, okay? So that doesn't look like it's going to happen. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. But let's get into some of the wild and wacky things, right? I mean, one thing this has sort of brought out for all of us is you get to see leadership, right? You get to hear more from leaders. You get to hear what they say. You get to hear how articulate they are. So let's hear from a few of them now. Let's hear from Mr. Trump, Donald Trump. A lot of people don't like him. Some people do. A lot of people don't like him.
Brilliant enemy. They develop drugs like the antibiotics. You see it. Antibiotics used to solve every problem. Now one of the biggest problems the world has is the germ has gotten so brilliant that the antibiotic can't keep up with it. And they're constantly trying to come up with it.
The germ is brilliant. It's the best germ. All the other germs love this germ. They know exactly what he's doing.
People go to a hospital and they go for a heart operation. That's no problem, but they end up dying from problems. You know the problems I'm talking.
They end up dying from problems. What did you die of? It was a problem. Really? What problem?
You know
problems.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You die from problems. Would you like to see that on the death certificate? He passed away from problems. Yeah, you had some problems. You had a big problem, and now you're dead.
There's a whole genius to it. We're fighting, not only is it hidden, but it's very smart, okay? It's invisible.
This germ, this virus is so smart that it's managed to become invisible. This virus really is a genius.
It's hidden, but it's very smart. And you see that in a case like Denver. But, I think we're doing well, and they're on Denver.
Okay, so the leader of the free world, right? I guess that's what we call him still, the leader of the free world. He says this virus is smart. It's very smart. It's a genius. This virus is a goddamn genius. Very smart. It's invisible. That does make it tougher when a virus is invisible. Although I don't think I've ever come across a virus that was visible. If it was visible, you certainly wouldn't walk into it, would you? You wouldn't say, oh, hey, there's the virus. No, you wouldn't do that. So, I mean, that's some insight from the Donald for what it's worth, right? Let's see. Let's hear from the guy that wants his job. Let's hear from the guy that's saying, listen, Trump's an idiot. Listen to me instead.
And in order to avoid those very high numbers, we have to do at least several things. One, we have to depend on what the president's going to do right now. And first of all, he has to wait till the cases before anything happens. Look, the whole idea is he's got to get in place things that were shortages of. And in order to avoid that.
Hold on. He's got to get in place things that there were shortages of. I actually got to watch this again just to understand what the hell this guy is saying.
In order to avoid those very high numbers, we have to do at least several things. One, we have to.
Okay, so far it makes sense. In order to avoid those very high numbers, we have to do at least several things. Okay.
Depend on what the president's going to do right now.
Number one, we have to depend on what the president's going to do right now. Okay, this is where the train skips a track.
And first of all, he has to.
So wasn't that first? Now we're on to first of all.
Wait till the cases before anything happens.
Wait till the cases before anything happens. I'm not following. Not following, Joe.
Look, the whole
look. Get off my lawn. Joe just gets pissed off. He's trying to think and he's trying to articulate something. I don't know what the hell he's trying to say. I'm sure it's a shot at Donald Trump of some sort. But here it is. Look, just get, we got to get this thing under control now. Piss off. Joe just wants to take a nap. Joe wants a nice warm bowl of soup and a nap. And then he wants his comfortable slippers.
He's got to get in place things that were shortages of.
He's got to get in place things that were shortages of. He's got to get in place things that were shortages of. That's how my 3-year-old talks, you know. That's how my little 3-year-old Kushi talks. He's got to get in place things that there were shortages of. Okay. Great advice, Joe. So that's the guy that wants to be president. Hey, you know, I mean, that's a country of 330 million people, and you've just seen the two choices for the upcoming election. Oh boy, I don't know, man. I don't know. Thank God we don't have this kind of incompetence in Canada, right? Thank God we got somebody that's, you know, solving problems and working late into the night. But anyways, enough about him. So here's one of the things that I really find disappointing is that I did a video, I don't know, about 10 or 11 days ago called a martial law coming ? Right? And we're seeing a lot of creeping surveillance, right? And I understand the reasons behind it. I understand the whole premise behind social distancing, and I believe in it to a degree. But one thing that's really disappointed me is just how zealous some people are to be literally spied on all the time. We've had our prime minister say that through cell phones, we can track your every movement. And people are like, yes, please do it, right? But now we're looking at a creeping surveillance state, and people are very divided over it. So take a look at this. This is from England, which shows you this is a pervasive problem that kind of spans the world. But this is a drone from the Derbyshire Police. This is Kerber Edge, which is a park. These vehicles should not be here. Okay, these vehicles are at a park, but they shouldn't be there. walking your dog in the Peak District, not essential. All right, buddy, you hear that? You hear that? You are walking your dog in the middle of nowhere,
How dare you?
and you are the problem. Yeah, how dare you? Hold on. Am I sharing? I got to check this, man. Am I sharing the screen? Let's make sure. Okay. Yeah. Kerber Edge. This is a place in England. Obviously, Derbyshire. That's, I don't know. I think it's the Midlands or the North. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. A giant park in the middle of nowhere, and there's 7 vehicles. And isn't it nice to know that instead of stopping break-ins or something that's really an issue, we have the police spying on you with a drone. This is their way of saying, we can watch you anywhere. Going for a walk, miles from home, not essential. Oh, don't do that. You're the guy that's spreading the virus, buddy. Going out of your way for an Instagram snap. Oh, don't do that. I don't know what's creepier, just the fact that they're spying and taking the time to write these comments, driving to a beauty spot for a stroll, not essential. I don't know if this level of spying is creepier or the fact that so many people support it. Heading to the Peaks to watch the sunset. The government advice is clear. You should only travel if it's essential. All right, so yeah, there you go. Traveling to remote areas of the Peak District for your exercise is not essential. Yeah, so I mean, we're all in this together. Oh, are we all in this together? Are we all in this together, or are just some of us in it a little more than others? We're going to look at that next. So, our good friend Justin. I always come back to good old Justin. So, this is what Justin said to us going into the Easter weekend.
Hello, everyone. This weekend, my family will join millions of Christians in Canada and around the world to celebrate Easter. Easter is the most important time for Christians. It celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ and the fundamental values of forgiveness and renewal.
By the way, Justin has been doing these press conferences almost every day since I guess the shutdown started, right? He has not been on time once. Not one single time. These press conferences are supposed to start at 8 a.m. and this guy has not even managed to get out there once. Like, he's not writing the speeches. We all know that. All he has to do is get dressed, show up to the podium, and talk and answer about 3 questions. That's typically what he answers. And he hasn't managed to be on time even once. That's a good sign of his work ethic. The rest of the country can wait while he gets ready, right? And another prediction, this was another prediction I had. I thought, you know what? There's no way Justin can keep up this work schedule. I know this guy. He likes his vacations. He cannot work for weeks and weeks and weeks on end every day straight. And sure enough, old Justin decided to take the weekend off. But anyways, here he goes into Easter, explaining to all of us what Easter is about. Thank you, Justin.
It is a time for joy, for hope, and for coming together. Normally, we'd be going to church with our neighbors, searching for Easter eggs with the kids, or sharing a special meal with family and friends. I know that for many Canadians, it won't be easy to celebrate Easter without being surrounded by our extended family or a larger group of loved ones. But we have to do it for the safety of all Canadians.
You see, all Canadians, because we're all in this together and we all got to be safe, right?
So as we reflect on Jesus' message of love and compassion, let's think about our healthcare workers and essential service workers who are on the front lines every day working to keep us safe. And let's put into practice what it truly means to love our neighbors as ourselves by making sacrifices to protect their health. Let's stay home for them. On behalf of our family, Sophie and I wish everyone celebrating a happy Easter. Stay safe and healthy.
Yes, let's all stay home. So that was the message from Justin. And that is the message echoed by the press, of course. Stop being selfish. Should Torontonians head to the cottage country during the pandemic? We asked the mayor of Muskoka. And he said, get lost. Now, I do understand. I understand that in a pandemic situation, that small towns can be overwhelmed, right? They don't have the medical facilities, groceries and stuff like that. Their supply lines can easily be overwhelmed. So I do understand that point, right? But nevertheless, they are pretty clear. They don't want you there unless they're prepared for it. They want your money. They want your money to come in these weekends, but not right now. Okay, fair enough. The message has been received. Don't anybody go anywhere. You've had 4 weeks of lockdown. Guess what? You're getting more of it. You're not even going to a damn cottage in the middle of nowhere. And the police have echoed this message. This is about lives. This is about saving lives. Toronto police officers work in an active crime scene in downtown Toronto this weekend. They are policing people on foot, stopping people in groups. And I witnessed this. I actually witnessed this myself in my neck of the woods over the Easter weekend, Saturday night. In one brief drive, my one venture out, I saw maybe 3 or 4 guys, 2 cars parked beside each other in a park, and two police cars had pulled up, lights flashing to, I don't know what they did to these guys. I didn't hang around. Maybe it was a warning. Maybe it was a fine. Maybe it was just intimidation. Maybe they hauled them off. I don't really know. Also, I saw a bunch of people in front of a house that had set up a bunch of chairs in a giant circle that were about 1.5 meters apart, maybe not 2 meters, but the police showed up and paid them a visit too. But anyways, we get the message, right? Oh, not so fast. Not so fast. So everybody stay home except Justin. No, Justin's not going to stay home. Justin is going to have a great Easter weekend, as his wife posted on Instagram. Yeah, she's happy to post this on Instagram. This is a picture of the Trudeau family enjoying their Easter vacation. Yeah, old Justin loves to get out there and have a good vacation, doesn't he? So all of these rules, they apply to the rest of you. A lot like these rules with carbon footprint and travel and carbon neutral and anything else you see environmental. It applies to you proles, the herd, the cattle that go about trudging through your daily life. Yeah, it applies to us. Doesn't apply to him. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. And I thought it was very interesting that a lot of people tried to defend this. And I heard somebody say, oh, this picture was from 2016. No, he's got a beard. Didn't have the beard in 2016. By the way, you know why he grew the beard? He grew the beard so people would take him more seriously. After his somewhat of a trouncing in the last election, the guy managed to win, even though he lost the popular vote. Let's not forget, he did lose the popular vote. He grew the beard so that people would take him more seriously. But regardless, they all had a pretty good Easter weekend. And once again, showing that there is a clear double standard. You know, good for me, not so good for thee, right? So that is what Trudeau has gotten into. And this is one of the things I've seen. I've seen a lot of anger. I've seen a lot of division. I've seen people saying, if you are not staying home, then you are an idiot. You're making it worse for the rest of us, and justifying any kind of government crackdown. There could be tanks rolling down the streets with guns pointed at everybody's door, and some people would still be saying, well, there you go. You see, you idiots, you should have just stayed home. Okay, look, man, you better wise up, okay? Those of you that think that way, you need to wise up. And you need to understand that all of this stuff is going to be selectively applied. Much like taxes, these elite, these people at the very top of the pyramid, right? Taxes aren't such a big deal for them. They have plenty of ways around that, right? The same with travel restrictions, the same with this. It's always the same sort of thing. One standard for them, and then they want the rest of you to adhere to another standard, okay? And I mean, we are very divisive. There's a lot of people out there that just don't give a shit, right? And there are people that are really uptight about it. And now we have these social interactions where you don't know if the person you're standing next to is going to freak out if you come within less than 2 meters from them, or if they're going to think you're an idiot for wearing a mask, right? So this whole COVID pandemic has become very divisive. And despite the message that we always get that diversity is our strength, I think we are very clearly seeing that diversity is not our strength. So it will be interesting to see what happens. It will be interesting to see how far people are willing to let their rights go. I mentioned a long time ago, well, 3 weeks ago, on this COVID cast, I said the interesting thing is there's no clear guidelines. We all know we're not getting 100% compliance, right? We know that's pretty much impossible. So expecting it is ridiculous. You can't expect 100% compliance on something like this. Just not going to happen. So if you allow them to use the fact that there's only 99.9% compliance as a justification to crack down and to open this and keep that closed, it really is a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so there we go. That is the thought for today. This is the lasting thing I will leave with you. Diversity is not always a strength. Okay, unity is a strength. Unity means united. Diversity means divided. Okay, so absorb that thought. Remember, let's be united. Let's stick together. If we stick together, nobody can stand against us. For COVIDcast 39, I'm Rick Richards, and I will see you tomorrow.